So I get the pleasure of introducing just Lori. Lori's my walking partner in Topanga. She lives in Topanga. She walked here, defying LA stereotypes, although her car hasn't been washed since Mother's Day, so it's probably fast she can drive here. So without further ado, here's Lori.
Osmond guides Tina over rickety bridges made of planks laid down across the trout ponds. She teeters in the stilettos she wears only because he likes how she walks in them. Deep in the murky water, trout curve into question marks. Tina imagines she's a mermaid suspended in a pool. In fairy tales, men captured mermaids in nets by spells, by theft of tales as mermaids danced on land. One night, alone in the office Osmond and Tina shared with 4 other grad students, he bewitched her with a kiss. His hands paused on her waistband. She waited to peel down her Levi's until she breathed please into his mouth. Tina trips, and Osmond grabs her elbow to steady her. At his touch, she thinks of his lips on the inside of her wrist, where blood pulses from her heart. His profile resembles the miniatures of Ottoman warriors in the Istanbul Museum, with trimmed beards and aquiline noses. She imagines these are his ancestors. She is the daughter of an Iowan cattle rancher. She wants him to wear her like the evil eye charm resting in the hollow of his throat. The fish farm's bunkhouse is built of rough wood. When they visited Osmond's family, the women in floral headscarves and long tunics warned her the fish farm was rustic, suggested hiking boots. She didn't pay attention. She was learning how to brew Turkish coffee. Although she carefully hovered the copper coffee pot over the gas flame, the coffee bubbled over with a caramel scent of sugar. The women handed her a cup, and she knew she was to serve Osmond as he drank Rocky and played okay with his brothers in the courtyard. He took the cup without looking. She waited for a word, for a glance. He just rolled the dice. Although the coffee she made tasted burnt, the women told her Turkish coffee is as sweet as love. They read her fortune in the sludge at the bottom of her cup and praised her future with Osmond. She'd watched him through the kitchen window, his coffee cup untouched. The mountains surrounding the fish farm shadow the narrow canyon. The caretaker serves grilled trout and olives on mismatched plates. The fish has been cooked whole, its skin ochre and charred. You've never tasted fresher trout, Osmond says. Tina slips the blade of her knife into flesh, cannot remember if Osmond removes the head first when deboning fish. Her knife does not strike bone. It's supposed to. Give it here, Osmond says. You'll make a mess of it. He deftly beheads the trout, butterflies the fish, and peels the backbone and the ribs out with the tip of his knife. Tina stares down at the fish. One eye glares back at her from the detached head. The eye is clear, not cloudy. The trout's been freshly killed. On Osmond's plate, a pile of wrinkled fish skin and the skeleton picked clean of all meat but the head. Even his olive pits have been sucked to fruit. Tina sees her life unfurl like a ribbon shaken loose from its spool. Osmond taking the cup of coffee without a glance, her waiting. Osmond says, before I went to UCLA, we came here every summer. Sounds great. Tina dislodges a fish bone as fragile and thin as an eyelash from her teeth. The bone's damp and sticks to her finger. She can't see such small bones. She's ready to give up. Imagine our children playing here, Osmond says. He takes Tina's hand. She tenses. She does not look in his eyes. He says, I have big plans for this place. Tina doesn't know she's holding her breath until she breathes again. Osmond releases Tina's fingers. We'll take care of that after I finish school. What about my degree? You'll finish before me. Earlier, he told her they feed the trout pink dye in pellets, so the trout's meat resembles salmon, dye spreading slowly through pale flesh to make it more desirable. Words rise in her throat. She will never belong here, never wants to belong. She imagines the trout pool she'll swim in tonight when she turns into a mermaid. If Osmond opens the weirs, she'll swim to the river, down the mouth of the canyon, and to the Aegean.